Traveling While Black by Nicole D. Miller. This week I treated myself and left my crew, who drove into town to celebrate the Big 4-0, said sayonara to the guy I'm seeing, and hopped on a plane to Tampa, Florida, then subsequently Ubered to a fancy hotel in Clearwater. I admit it took everything in me to pay for this trip. I'm a stickler when it comes to finances, and describe myself as balling on a budget, or bougie on a budget, which pretty much means I like to look good, but want to get a good deal while doing it. People would be surprised at some of the prices I pay for my clothes and things. That being said, I forced myself to make this investment. I was only able to feel decent about swiping my credit card by telling myself that the money I was spending would have been spent in previous years while going through typical life stages, such as engagement parties, weddings, baby showers, kids, etc. Things I've not experienced yet and therefore have not had to pay for. So, for the first time ever, 40-year-old me, so weird, stayed at a 5-star classy hotel, ordered room service, and hobnobbed among the wealthy. It was an experience, especially when I kept searching for a microwave and was eventually told that if I wanted one, the staff could bring a personal one to my room. Wow, okay. I'm a beach baby through and through, so all I need to be happy is a sunny day on white sand with clean water and a snazzy drink in hand. Clear water certainly delivered. But even in the midst of paradise, with my balcony view of the Gulf of Mexico and the sun's rays melting my smooth chocolate skin, I was on high alert. I was an only, and one of the few minorities in the hotel who could afford this luxury. Everyone who has experienced being an only knows you're naturally on guard in these climates. While in this state, I observed peach-colored families with kids of all ages. I took in their childhoods being colored with these elite experiences before my very own dark brown eyes. I marveled that this was their normal and how easy I'm sure it is for them to take it all for granted. And then there were the microaggressions, or at minimum, the perceived ones. The ones consisting of people stepping in front of me while I'm next in line to get a table at a restaurant, being seemingly uncomfortable while sharing an elevator with me, or clearly not wanting to go to the restroom after I've used it. These are all things that happen in these spaces. My vacations often battle a subtle message sent by the privileged. We are allowing you here because the law does, but we don't want you here. And then there is my quiet but stern response when I choose to stay. I have a right to be here. More of a right than you, in fact, because my ancestors built this country. And indeed, it is the truth. My mother and her mother and her mother and her mother did not get this chance, but I do. Still, there are also the peach-colored faces who are kind, the ones who see I need a little more encouragement for a smile to greet my face in this unfamiliar terrain. They're usually the staff members, and maybe because they're not blinded by classism, they reach out unabashedly, putting me at ease with a warm welcome and soothing conversation. They are the reminder that Black people were not the only ones who marched in the civil rights movement. There were white people too. Having this experience of financial opportunity and resources in my adulthood has induced a switch to my mindset, and maybe I'll talk about that in a future post. But one thing I know is that as believers, we are called to wealth. We are called to be kings and priests, and that is not only in the by and by, that is in the now. I honor my ancestors because I'm connected to them. I'm affected by their choices made before me, both the good ones and the bad. I experience this connection more now that so many have transitioned than I did when they were here, and the stakes somehow feel greater. They've already run their race and have passed their torch to me, and so I now run, and so I now travel. To read the full article, go to NicoleDMiller.com. Please make sure to save, share, and subscribe.